Previously on Becky Con Creations. So now that both skeins are wound up into cakes, it is time to cast on our jaunty shawl. I decided to use my US 5 interchangeable needles in the nickel-plated set from Knit Picks. The pattern said to use your preferred cast-on method, so I decided to use the long-tail cast-on. We are barely into the pattern, and look at that color shift. This is the Carnation colorway from January, and it is looking so good already. Alright, now it's time to pack up the jaunty shawl and take it to the airport. Go over there, honey. Since Daddy had the baby occupied, it's time to knit a few rows before we board our plane to Germany. We all agreed that Frankfurt Airport was the worst experience we've ever had traveling. If anybody else has experienced anything negative at this airport, please drop it in the comments because I would love to hear your horror stories. After 24 hours of travel, we finally reached our destination, Schwarzenberg, Germany. This quaint little town is located in Saxony on the eastern border of Germany and the Czech Republic. On our first day visiting our family, we decided to go window shopping around the town. The traditional decorations revolve around Christmas. Look at these cute little dolls. Most of these decorations I had in my own home growing up, so it was very nostalgic for me, including these pyramids, which have candles underneath that create an airflow to make them spin. Of course, my mother and I had to go visit the local yarn store. Not gonna lie, I wasn't very impressed with the yarn selection, but I did find these beautiful buttons. This was my favorite button, which featured the patron saint of the town, Saint Georg the Victorious. I've been wanting to knit myself a black cardigan, so I figured to pick up some buttons that would match. I also like to do wood burn, so I figured I could decorate these. And I could also use some purple buttons for a purple cardigan. And some toggle buttons. It just so happened to be my uncle's birthday while we were visiting, so this is footage of us walking to the house where he was hosting the big party. My uncle is an avid hunter, so he decided to hunt a boar and serve it at his own party.
Tradition food in Erzgebirge. The name is Mutzbraten. Mutzbraten.
At this point, my mouth was watering. I was loving this view.
Looks very tasty.
One of the privileges of living in a small town is that you're friends with all of your tradesmen. So my uncle's butcher is also his best friend. We had some guests from Bavaria who taught my husband some very fun dance moves. You're probably thinking to yourself, this is a knitting podcast. Where is all the knitting? Well, I quickly learned that when you're visiting family, you have little to no time to knit. So I was only able to squeeze in a few rows at a time every morning before we started our day. At this point, I was approaching the halfway mark. Now, this is turning out very different than I had imagined, but I'm not hating it. All the colors are super fun, even though it is completely different than what I usually wear. The Breakfast of Champions, German edition. Checking in. It is the first full snow day here in Germany. It is quite beautiful and cold. We are getting all of our snow gear on so we can go sledding with Gus Gus, my son. It's very beautiful today. This is my son's genuine reaction to seeing snow for the first time. When in Saxony, you gotta build a snowman. Even if he ends up 7 feet tall. The highlight of this day, though, was sledding with the family. My mom is also an avid knitter. She tends to only knit socks, though. She kindly recorded me while I was knitting on my Jaunty. I appreciate her filming skills. Of course, I have to show the candy haul. This wasn't the extent of what we bought, but just a small sample. I absolutely love marzipan, and those Nutella biscuits didn't even last 3 days. Later on, we took a day trip to the neighboring village of Schneeberg. My husband and I love visiting cathedrals, so we had to stop by St. Wolfgang's Church, which was built in the early 16th century. I mean, look at these organ pipes. They're absolutely stunning. We're more accustomed with the Catholic cathedrals that we visit in Italy during our honeymoon and the Orthodox churches that we have back at home. So visiting a church with Gothic architecture was quite different for us. The coolest part about this church is that you could climb the tallest tower and see the entire village from the highest point. Half of the group decided to stay behind and search for some snacks. Look, we found them! They were starting to get impatient, so we quickly caught up with them.
Very happy. Arschkalt.
Lecker.
A unique decoration in this region of Germany is called a Schwabogen, a curved candle holder. Its roots are deeply tied to its rich historic mining culture. This specific Schwabogen had music playing and moving parts and lots of figurines that represented the rich mining history of this town. Many of the shops that we saw were completely stocked with these beautiful pyramids, and I really regret not buying one. This specific one I absolutely adored. My husband was particularly fond of the Black Pyramid. While window shopping through the village, we stumbled upon a bobbin lace guild. Everyone was more than happy to demonstrate for us. This is a fiber art that I have never tried, but I would love to sometime in the future. A day of shopping isn't complete unless we stop at the candy store. Chocolate Haul Part 2. After a long day of town hopping, it was time to wind down and knit some rows. By now you have seen my fancy row counter several times in this video. It was a gift from my husband from this past Christmas, and it is the Nutcracker row counter from Twill and Print. I'm so used to reading my own knitting though, so I just have it on the needles for the visual stimulation. As if this color shifting isn't stimulating enough. On our last day in Germany, we decided to take a trip up to the largest landmark in the city, which is Schwarzenberg Castle, which had been converted into a museum filled with miniatures and other artisan crafts. Bobbin lace is quite common in this area, so large tablecloths, doilies, and clothing were on display in this museum. This was my first time seeing handmade black lace, and I absolutely love it, and I need it in my closet. So I ended up finishing the Jaunty shawl after I arrived back home. I got slightly past the halfway point when I was on the plane. Even though I did not knit the majority of this shawl during my vacation, it is still filled with memories of spending time with my extended family and adventuring the countryside of Germany. I'm extremely happy with this shawl, and I love this squish and the bounce and of course all of the colors. If you'd like to see more details on my Jaunty shawl, be sure to check out my Ravelry page. Thank you for watching. Bye!